This is a series of videos that I hope are helpful in reviewing the kind of notices the IRS sends out when they start collection action and what should be the proper responses to those. If they're calling you 99% of the time, that's not going to be a good thing. A person that's calling you, how are they calling you? Well, when the IRS says you owe them money, they send you the notices to pay, and then once you don't pay, they have to do what's called perfecting their interest. And that's the filing of a 668Y. That's the lien filing, not to be confused with the levy. It's the lien filing, which is a public notice that puts the world on notice that you owe the IRS money. So if you start going out and trying to borrow money, anybody that lends money to you after the IRS has filed that lien stands behind the IRS when it comes to getting paid. So very difficult to get a loan after that. But what does that 668Y do? Well, the lien filing puts everybody on notice, public document. You've got boiler rooms all across the country that do nothing but pull that public information. They buy that information, lien filings. And they have what they call openers and closers. The opener, all he does all day is dial that phone and try to get somebody on the phone that's associated with that tax lien, and then make all kinds of promises as to how they can help you. Well, what's the problem with that? Well, the guy who's on the phone, who's calling you, he doesn't ever do the work on the case. He's not the person that's going to work on the case. They're getting paid to get somebody on the phone and sell them a resolution. So you asked me, well, who should you hire? It's a difficult question to answer because you don't know what the qualifications are of the person that's calling you on the phone. They're going to make all assertions. Well, I would say at a minimum, they have to be licensed attorney, CPA, or enrolled agent. And you would want to know exactly who you're hiring, not the company, the person. Because it's very key as to who's going to actually be negotiating your case. If you don't know the person that's going to be handling your case and what their qualifications are, why would you ever send any money or hire that person? You're saying, well, we're hiring a firm. Well, that firm, if they're calling you, the firm is essentially a boiler room. It's probably 5 to 10 to 20 to 30, maybe even 40 openers, guys that are banging the phone all day long, trying to get somebody on the phone. And then they don't really know much. Those guys burn out quite frequently. They're good at dialing a phone and then get through the gatekeepers. They then flip it over to the guy who's going to sell the case. He's almost never a licensed person, and he's there for no other reason to sign you up for the maximum amount as quickly as possible to resolve your case. So